7-9.
A split we don't see very often because the left-handers usually have an outside line out near the channel and get a sharp break at the pocket. But on this particular shot, Paul Moser left the 7-9. It's almost like the 8-10 for the right-hander. Moser hits the foul line pretty good there, but didn't hit that solid, smooth follow-through.
Well, he thought he might get lucky. Giving him 125 through the sixth. It's an open. And, of course, that cuts his lead to 20 pins. Paul Moser, of Austrian ancestry.
Paul, like many of the pros, has his wife on his tour, and his wife, Debbie, an excellent bowler with a 170 average, often helps him with his game. It's nice to have somebody along who loves you, but also can give you a little coaching along the way at the same time.
Magic four-letter word here on Valentine's Day.
A little love.
Yeah, you got a little love here today, Sissy. One daughter. 6-10 now.
Moser's just rolling that ball at the foul line. As we noticed earlier in the match, he had a spare 3 strikes. He was lofting the ball about 12 inches over the foul line, and he was doing that with the lift of the wrist. Now he's just kind of quitting on the ball, rolling at the line. It won't hold pocket.
Oh, it must have been great growing up in the St. Louis area, as you did.
A lot of heritage, a lot of great bowlers in this area.
So Paul Moser, Somerset, Massachusetts, marks for the spare in the 7th, and he leads by 20. We'll be back.
Hi, I'm Joe Hutchinson, and next week the Pro Bowlers Tour travels to Peoria, Illinois for the $125,000 AMF Magic Star Open. I won that tournament a year ago, and if I can survive the qualifying competition, I hope to try to win the $20,000 top purse. So join ABC Sports for coverage of the championship round next Saturday live at 3:30 Eastern Time.
Okay, we look forward to watching Joe and hundreds of other bowlers trying to successfully defend his championship. And Bo, although I have grown up in the Midwest, live there now, I've never been to Peoria, and I can't wait.
It's going to be a great town, and you notice Joe Hutchinson went to his power there on that promo shot, tripping that 6-pin.
Lasco. 7th frame, a spare working, leaving the 10-pin. This is our first match, the winner to meet Earl Anthony.
Lasco seems to have settled down. That was definitely his best shot in the match. 7th frame. He only trails by 21. As you know, in the game of bowling, that can change around in just 1 or 2 frames. The key is going to be if he can hit the left-hand lane. He's been very close on the right-hand lane, been high in the pocket on the left-hand lane every shot.
Now, very much cross lane, left-right for the 10. And Palmer Faldgren, our statistician, marks the 7th frame box with a spare.
Here's the profile of Tommy Lasco. Really a nice style. See that good push away. Watch this straight arm swing with that locked elbow right at shoulder level and right next to his leg. Notice how close his arm came to that left foot. That's where you get the consistency, leverage, and accuracy. Perfect shot. Nice. Well done, Tommy.
Very methodical, checking his position, concentrating. Well, 2 held to 5 up. 2 pins, that is.
Made a good shot, though. We talked about him making a little adjustment on the approach. He moved his feet about a board left on the approach and made a shot that he thought would finish. But as we said, the grain of the wood down there in the pine area, about 35, 40 feet down the lane, does not allow the left-hand lane to break that much. As you see, he improved his average quite a bit this week, 217 for the 42 games.
Tom has not won on the tour. He's a winner in the '79 American Bowling Congress Classic Team Championships in Tampa, Florida. Here's a man that's won 2 PBA titles, 33 years of age, going to make his first money of the year bowling right here today. Pin on the right lane.
Paul doesn't play much hook, and he likes the lanes a little slick like they are today, where he can go directly at the pocket. Doesn't have to give the ball much room because he has a little pull in his swing. As you notice, he comes from the top of his swing. He cuts across it just a little bit. He's learned to live with it, and he's always been a contender.
Eighth frame. We're in St. Louis, a city that's over 200 years old. And, Bo, when you stop and think about that, Detroit was just a clearing, and Chicago had a few cabins along the big lake. That gives you an idea. This was a thriving area for commerce 200 years ago. Lewis and Clark went west from here. I love this area.
Well, thank you, Chris. We're glad to have you here. The Mississippi River, definitely the lifeblood of the St. Louis area. Moser, 9th frame, leads by 21 pins.
All right, in that foundation frame, a big strike, much to the delight of Paul and Debbie. Let's see it again.
Moser just jammed it solid in the 1-2 pocket. No doubt about this one. Crunch. Lasco, 9th frame, trails by 21. Has a chance for a 2:03 game. Moser's working at 2:04 pace.
Beautiful strike. It's only his 3rd strike in this first game, the winner to meet Earl Anthony.
As the scoreboard shows, Tommy Lasco is going to have to reach back for everything he's got. He trails by 21. He's coming up on his tough lane, the left-hand lane. He has not had a strike on this lane. Made a good shot in the 8th frame, but he needs at least one here in the 9th to have any chance at winning the match. With 2 strikes, he would put the pressure on Moser.
Man that spent 6 years in the Reserve Air National Guard, Tom Laskow, Comac, New York. Leaving the 4-6.
The demise of Tommy Lasco, the left-hand lane. He pulls the ball up a little high, tried to make the adjustment, jam in the pocket. Unfortunately, gets no good pinfall, leaves the 4-6. He bowled well this week. 42 games, is going to take home a really nice check, and Moser's going to go on to meet the number 3 player, the very tough Earl Anthony.
So Lasco in losing $4,500. Let's pause a few moments to hear these messages from some of the people who are bringing you this week's stop on the Pro Bowlers Tour.
The Pro Bowlers Tour. This ABC Sports exclusive is brought to you by Rolaids. For acid indigestion or heartburn, millions spell relief, R-O-L-A-I-D-S. Rolaids spells relief. And by Firestone, makers of the 721 steel-belted radial. In 78 years, Firestone has never built a tire in which they've had more confidence.
All right, Paul Moser finishing that first game. Lasco, his opponent, with a 171, and Moser with a 192, and 4 strikes along the way. So, in our next match, it's going to be Earl Anthony meeting Paul Moser, as the Pro Bowlers Tour will continue after this message.